We need you to respond to the AutoZone. We're getting a call of a possible attempted robbery. Suspect's going to be a Hispanic male with a gray, approximately 5'10", 180 pounds, with a burgundy shirt, blue jeans, armed with a knife, last seen in a white BMW with tinted windows, possible plate California 659. Sending you back up.
One 102 arrived at the scene, put me on emergency traffic. I have a Hispanic male, approximately 18 years of age, in a white BMW with partial plates, 59.
Police, get out the car!
Hey, yo, I didn't do
Police,
that.
get out the car!
Hey, what?
Put your hands on the
What'd I do?
car!
All right, chill.
Put your
Don't
hands on
shoot.
the car.
Don't shoot. Calm down. All right.
And lock your fingers behind your back.
All right.
At this
Fine.
point, I have enough probable cause to put him under arrest because he matches the witness description and vehicle, and he has a knife on him. I need a CSI unit sent to the AutoZone on 1312 Cleveland Avenue.
Hello, we are CSI Team 5112 and we are processing a crime scene at the AutoZone parking lot that included a armed robbery. I will now process the crime scene.
Now that we have successfully secured the scene, we're going to use a grid pattern to find all of the pieces of evidence that we can.
We're now going to place evidence cones on each evidence that we find. Now that we have finished securing the crime scene and placing evidence cones, I will now start a crime scene sketch using triangular sketch method. So I have to find a fixed point of the crime scene, which is right here, and mark it on the sketch and walk to the evidence using big feet, and each foot counts as 3 feet. So that was 7, and multiplying that by 3 to get an approximate amount is 21, and then finding a second fixed point, which is going to be right here, and then doing the same thing that way. Which is 5 feet, multiplying that by 3, which is 15, and drawing out the evidence on the sketch here, and then labeling it in the legend to know what sketch is, labeling the directions and everything around the crime scene. And then I also put the officer's name up top, the penal code, the location, and the date. And that's how to do a crime scene sketch.
Now that the crime scene has successfully been sketched, I'm going to conduct the crime scene photos. I'm going to take 3, which is a large view, medium view, and right on top of the evidence. I'm going to be taking an on top shot of the evidence just like that. I'm going to do the same thing of the evidence inside of the car. Now that I have photographed all of the evidence, I'm going to be conducting a lay-in fingerprint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find all of the fingerprints. As you can see, there are a couple here. I'm going to set my fingerprint case down. I'm going to grab the black powder, just like this. I'm going to pour a little bit into the cap so it's easier and makes a less mess. Then I'm going to grab my brush and open it. Now I'm going to take circular motions just like this and gently put it inside of the powder, get off any excess I need to, and do the same circular motion onto the mirror to try and get as much powder onto the fingerprints as I possibly can. You can do this a couple more times to get as much as you can to make sure that the fingerprint is very, very prominent. Then I'm going to be taking the fingerprint hinge lifters. I'm going to grab a white one so that the fingerprint shows up more. Then I'm going to be taking and opening it and peeling off the protective seal just like this, if I can. Now, I'm going to be taking the clear sticky side and placing it on one fingerprint. I'm going to be choosing this one. Now, I'm going to be trying to get as much air bubbles as I possibly can out of the thing and really trying to stick the fingerprint onto the sticky stuff. Then, I'm going to carefully remove this and seal it again. Now, I'm going to be writing the date, my initial, and the case number onto the back.
So now that the fingerprinting is done and the evidence is done, I will now package the evidence, and I have the correct materials needed. I have a paper bag, paper bindle, and gloves on for safety. So the first evidence I'm going to package is the knife, which is going into the paper bag. I'm now going to package the gun. And the gun is going into the evidence box. And make sure to secure the gun into the box as well. And then fill out the chain of custody for this box. I have now secured the gun in the evidence box and filled out all the evidence information here. And now I have filled out the chain of custody, which goes from the scene to me, the officer, with the date and time, and now from the officer to the evidence logger. Now that we have finished processing the scene, we're going to release the scene, pick up the cones, take the tape off, and go back to headquarters to fill out the documents.